thought I'd point out the flaws in each of the next-gen handhelds. Starting with the 3DS again, because it is closer to launch. Now, the problem I see is with any sort of game utilizing both the touchpad, the circle pad, and any buttons on the other side, like Resident Evil Revelations, for example. In Revelations, you use the circle pad to move, and the touchscreen to aim. Now, people said this was really, really clunky, like, they couldn't aim up. Anytime they tried to shoot someone in the knee, they'd usually end up shooting them in the crotch, which is what we saw a lot in gameplay videos. Now, imagine trying to use any of the buttons on the right side of the console. It's nearly fucking impossible. You'd have to either, one, move your hand away from the touchpad to access the buttons, or two, move your hand in some ungodly, weird position to touch the buttons. And the right bumper is just completely inaccessible. With the PSP 2, or NGP, whatever you want to call it, it looks good, other than the fact that, once again, the fucking analog sticks are out of the console. They're pointing up. I wouldn't have a problem with this if you could, like, snap them in, which is a current rumor. It has nowhere been confirmed, so I don't see why people are spreading this around. But, you remember what the original problem with the fucking PSP was? Put it in your pocket, take it out of your pocket. It's a portable. It's supposed to go in your pocket. Yet after, I don't know, a couple months or so of taking this thing in and out of your pocket, it'd break the fucking circle pad off. And this is what's gonna happen again unless these fucking things are made of metal, or they spin and latch into the console itself or something. Nintendo addressed this on their circle pad by having it receded in, and it's protected when it's clamped shut. I don't see why Sony couldn't do something about this. Another problem. Some people were saying it would be great to have a shooter on it now that it has two analog sticks. And the main problem with that is there is no left or right shoulder button. Without those two buttons, it seems like it would make a shooter nearly impossible. I mean, maybe tapping the touchpad on the back or something would do it. I don't really know. A problem with both of them, however, and this is the way it's been with every handheld since the beginning of time, rehashes, rehashes, rehashes. All at the launch. Now, I know that the only real thing that looks interesting that's new coming out on the 3DS is Kid Icarus Uprising, and whatever the new IP was made by the creator of Sonic. I think it was something the Sky Warrior. I don't know. The thing with the PSP 2, or NGP, Killzone, there was Killzone, there was Resistance, and I believe a couple other titles, like Uncharted. The thing is, Sony's, putting out all their big stuff at the beginning, and in my opinion, that's not a smart idea at all at a marketing perspective, because once everyone buys all those, what the fuck are they going to buy? There were a couple other ones that have been announced, but those were all shitty sports titles, and who the fuck wants to play a sports game, let alone a sports game on a handheld? They both have a fair bit of shit coming out, but hopefully this all evens out in the later months of launch. I know that within the first month of launch for the 3DS, Splinter Cell Conviction is supposed to get ported, but once again, ports are rehashes, sequels are technically rehashes, but that's not what I'm talking about here. And remakes are rehashes. That's pretty much all we're seeing for both right now, and that's a little bit disappointing. Two, these, a couple of the best games announced for them so far, like on the 3DS, Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, it's a Japanese-only title. Now, the thing is, we have a lot of Phoenix Wright fans in America. We have a lot of Professor Layton fans in America. Yet I guarantee this thing's never going to get a fucking port. That's about all I have right now, so later. I nearly forgot one final detail. Price. Now, $250 seems really steep for a handheld, it being a Nintendo handheld, where all their consoles have started off at $250. This is the price of a console right now. The thing is, when we're looking at the NGP from the hardware perspective, it's got a quad-core processor, an OLED screen, and those things are expensive as holy fuck. And, it's got a GPS in it, and for all of the other countries but America, 3G support. With all of that, I don't see how a machine with PS3 level graphics and all of this is going to cost anything lower than $300. Maybe even more. There's no confirmed price yet, there's no confirmed battery life, but it's looking pretty bad on Sony's part. They've even said so far they're making a loss, just like they did when they first sold the PS3. But time will tell. I'm going to wait to buy one till maybe a year after launch, just to see if the price has gone down yet. But that's just me. This is just my opinion, so goodbye.